Hey listener, it's your girl Bella. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be reading 2023 new release thrillers. If you see my hands moving, it's because, as always, I'm dog sitting and Zeta here wants to get pet. So in this video, we're going to be reading 2023 new release thrillers. I'm actually so excited because two of these were on my TBR and one of them I don't think was on my TBR, but I haven't read from this author before, so I'm pretty excited. And I'm just like really in the mood to read thrillers. I haven't read a lot of them this year, and I like thrillers because they're usually fast-paced and short, like short chapters, shorter stories. It tends to be like in the lower 300 range, and that's just what I'm in the mood for. So the first book is I Will Find You by Harlan Coben. This is a thriller about a man who is convicted of killing his son, but he states that he's wrongfully accused. And I know that in the story he like breaks out of prison, and I love I love like things that have to do with prison. Like I love prison shows, and so I haven't read a book that has prison inside the book, and so I'm hoping that will be like a prominent part of the book and it won't just be like touched on. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. The next book is The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. This is my first Sally Hepworth book, and I think I own a book by her. I own The Good Sister, so if I like this, it'll make me feel more encouraged to read The Good Sister. But this is actually a library copy. I love the cover of this book. I've already started reading it. I'm actually a little bit over halfway. So this book is about a couple who lives in Melbourne, Australia with their two kids, and they live by this cliff where people come to try to off themselves, and the husband is always able to get people to turn around and not, commit that. And as the story starts, there's someone on the cliff, he goes out there and she ends up jumping. So we're trying to figure out why she jumped and if she really jumped or if she was pushed. And the last book, this is the only book in this video that I actually own. I just got this today from Target. It's Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica. Have I read a Mary Kubica? I have! I read Local Woman Missing. Okay, I was thinking that's the only Mary Kubica book I've read. I gave that book 4 stars, but this was not originally on my TBR, I don't think, but I needed a third book for this video, so I went to Target and I got this. I don't know what it's about. I'm assuming it's a domestic thriller based off the title, but if I enjoy it, I'll keep it, and if I don't, it will go right back to Target. So, yeah. So these are the books that we will be reading in today's video, and let's go ahead and see. I'm hoping that I get some gems out of this because normally when I do reading videos, I don't get a book that's above 3 stars. So I'm really hoping for a 4 or 5, and I'm hoping that I'll like them so I can buy them / keep them and add them to my collection. But let's go ahead, get started, and see. This is a very random reading vlog, y'all. Y'all already saw the title or the intro, but I didn't think about this reading vlog until just right now as I was sitting here. But I have all these 2023 new releases, so I'm going to read them in this video. And I'm going to start off with I Will Find You by Harlan Coben. I don't even remember what this is about, but it's not too long. It's like 320 pages, so that's not bad. And I haven't read a thriller. We'll let that pass. I have my window open, so it's extra loud, sorry. But I haven't read a thriller at all this year, I don't think. At least I haven't finished a thriller this year. I haven't read any thrillers this year. So I'm excited. I hope it's good. And I'll give you all an update when there's an update to give. Good morning. I'm in bed with my pajamas and bonnet and the residue of a pimple patch on my face. It is a very rainy day, or a very rainy morning in Charlotte right now. So I've just been reading this book. This is my first thriller by him. I'm currently maybe like 33% into the book, so one third into this book. Hold on, let me show y'all Riley. He's just sitting there and staring at me. I think he wants to go outside, but it's raining, so that's not an option. Sorry, boo. Sorry, we're not going outside. So this book is about a guy named David, and he is in jail for killing his 3-year-old son, but allegedly he didn't actually kill his son. But he's in jail for it, and he's pretty much trying to escape prison because he believes his son is actually still alive, and that's why it's called I Will Find You. So it's a thriller. That's the first genre it falls under, then mystery. But right now it's giving me more of a mystery vibe just because we're trying to figure out if his son is still alive or not. But if his son is still alive, then we need to figure out who
the dead child that he found was. So I could see how it could be a thriller. But right now it's giving me more of a mystery vibe. It's a pretty fast read so far. This book is only like 330 pages. But I feel like in general, thrillers tend to be like fast reads, at least for me. So I'm enjoying that aspect of it because the last book I read was Cersei. And that book took me 2 weeks to read because it was so freaking boring. So I'm enjoying the fact that this book is going by really quickly. I don't really have any thoughts on it so far. Actually, what I do like is that at least the first third of this book takes place in prison. And sometimes when books have a prison aspect, I feel like not enough of the prison life is shown. And personally, I want to read a book that has to do with like inmates in prison and like the food they're eating and the officers or the correctional officers and just, you know, the fights and everything. I want to read a book like that. And a lot of books that touch on like a character who's been in prison, like it's just touched on, but we don't get to actually see any of their life in prison. And so I like that as I'm in the book right now, like I said, I'm a third of the way in and like he's in prison. So I won't give too much detail because I don't really know what the synopsis says. So I didn't spoil anything. I just read the synopsis to make sure. But yeah, this book is interesting. So we have multiple POVs. We have David's POV. We have his sister-in-law Rachel's POV because she also believes that his son is still alive. I just read the synopsis to make sure it wasn't a spoiler. But she believes his son is still alive, which is why our main character David also believes that, because she came to the prison one day and showed him a picture of a boy that looked like his son but like 5 years aged. And so they're kind of trying to figure out like, okay, like if he's still alive, who is the dead boy that was inside of David's house? So it's interesting so far. I'm not like in love with it, but I'm also not disliking it. I'm just kind of, here for the ride, trying to see what happens. I have no idea like what's actually going on. Like I don't know who could have been the real killer or anything. Like it's a little bit too early to know those things, but I am definitely enjoying it, and I will give you all an update when I'm maybe at like 50%, and hopefully that update will be a little bit more coherent. I forgot to add real quick. I said that we have like multiple POVs. Yes, we have David's POV, we have his sister-in-law Rachel, and we have like a lot of the correctional officers. We really have like everybody's POV. This is very like Omni POV, I don't remember. But we have like everyone's POV, mostly David's. So we're always like flipping back to him, but like every other chapter tends to be someone different POV. And I'm just about to start chapter 14, and this POV is like an FBI specialist who we've never had his POV before. And there's also some like, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but there's the third party is in thrillers, is it called a third act conflict, or is that just romance? I don't know, but there is like a third act conflict that's going on along with just him escaping prison and looking for his son who's possibly still alive. There's another conflict going on too, which is very interesting, and I'm wondering how it all ties together. So we will see, but I'm going to keep reading. So I want to give you all an update on this book. I am a little bit over 60% in, and let me flip this. And so far, I'll say, oh look, we have a little guest. Hey boo. But yeah, so far, I'm definitely really, really enjoying it. Like, I can see myself giving this book 5 stars. I love the fact this book focuses heavily on the fact that he was in prison. Like I said earlier, a lot of books that have like a prison aspect to it, it's not harped on for long enough, but this is literally like him escaping out of prison. And I love when I read books and they make me want to like research other things. Like I'm over here researching like how to escape prison. How do people manage to dig holes to escape prisons? Because it's just like, it just gets me so interested in, other things, But I'm enjoying this. It's very fun. I love the plot. I love all the multiple points of view. This book is like a little bit like over the top. Like, could someone actually do all this in real life? I don't know. It'll be very, very hard for, like, it's not very realistic, you know what I mean? Like, it's very hard to escape prison, especially in this manner, or the way it's turned out in this book. But it's just so interesting. Like, I love the crude cop banter. I just love it. It's so good. It's so entertaining. I was reading earlier, and if I just like chill for the rest of the day, I can easily finish this book today because it's that interesting. I'll probably stay up and finish it regardless. Me and Brooklyn are about to go walk around Uptown and get something to eat. I already ate. I don't want to eat, but I wouldn't mind getting like something cold to drink. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's definitely gearing towards 5 stars. I can't see this book getting any less than 4 because I enjoyed that much, but probably 5. I just want you to know, both of y'all were disturbing me in the process of filming my YouTube update. You was in the background singing.
That was Riley's fault.
You was in the background singing. He was in the background digging around, doing God knows what. I know I've already said this, but
The cop banter in this book is just A1. Like, it's so funny. These two FBI agents, Max and Sarah, where they like communicate with each other. And like pretty much like mock people as they're like cross-examining them and like they're catching them in lies. Like, it's just Riley keep trying to sniff my makeup brushes. But it's just so funny. Like, it's so entertaining. Like, I just be over here chuckling. I definitely want to own a copy of this book. Like, it just came out last month, so pretty expensive still. I mean, it's not too expensive, but I've already read it, so I'm not like in a rush to own it. But I just, for the banter alone, this book is so funny. Like, it's great. Okay, so I have finished I Will Find You by Harlan Coben. And I don't know if I should give y'all the review first or give you my star rating first. I'm gonna give y'all the review first. So this book, y'all saw I was enjoying this book so much. Like, I was so enjoying it. I was enjoying the fact that a good amount of it took place in prison. I was enjoying the cat and mouse chase with our main character. I believe his name was David. I don't even remember, and I read this like 3 days ago. I believe his name was David. I enjoyed watching him get chased down by the police. I enjoyed like seeing like how the police were always right on top of him, right behind him, about to get him. It did make it a little bit unrealistic because I feel like it's just so hard to get away with crime in America, and this book proved that because they were always on him. But there are some parts of it that were a little bit unrealistic and, you know, far-fetched, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, and like I said, I enjoyed the cop banter. However, at the end, the book did fall a little bit flat for me just because it wrapped up too nicely. Like, and if you read this book and read the ending, you know exactly what I mean. Like, the stakes were just so high the entire time, and at the end it just wraps up in a bow, and it wraps up just a little bit too nicely. Like, I want to say what happened, but that'll obviously be a spoiler, and I want you guys to read this because this book was actually so interesting. Like, I want to get my own copy of it, but this did come out this year, so I'm gonna wait till it goes on sale. Thrillers tend to get cheap after a couple of months, and this just came out like last month. But I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5. Like I said, my only issue is that at the end it kind of fell flat, and there's a death that takes place that really didn't sit well with me because of the way it was justified by the character. Like, that did not sit well with me. That made me feel kind of sick, and I don't really get sick feelings when I read thrillers. Like, I know thrillers tend to be kind of sick, but that did not sit well in my stomach, so I did not like that. When I was reading it, I was really thinking this was going to be one of my best books of the year. Like, when I tell you the cop banter was so good, like, I was literally enjoying myself. But it's okay. I probably read this book in like 3 sittings. In the first sitting I read like 40 pages. So I read this book in like 2 days. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I would highly recommend it, and I'm so excited because whenever I do reading videos like this, I never get a book above 3 stars. So this is my first time having a book above 3 stars in one of these reading videos, so I'm really happy. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. And I've also gone ahead and started The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. So this book is about a family who lives in Melbourne, wow, and they live like on a cliff. They just moved there recently, maybe a year ago. It's a mom, a dad, and 2 daughters. And they've noticed that because they live by this cliff, that people go to the cliff and they try to, you know, off themselves and jump off. And her husband has been able to save 7 people's lives and prevent them from jumping off. But at the beginning of the story, he's trying to save someone else. This will be the 8th person, and they end up jumping. So that's how the book starts off, but the wife is suspicious of her husband because she doesn't think, she's second guessing whether the person jumped or whether her husband pushed the lady who jumps off. And so she's like kind of like torn between that. And so we get 2 points of view. We get the point of view of our main character, her name is Pippa, and we get the point of view of the lady who ends up dying because she was either pushed or jumped. We don't really know yet. Well, we do know. We find out at the beginning, but anyway, we get her POV as well, as she's already passed away, so like her POV in the afterlife. And we do get a couple before snippets too, so there's like a past and present timeline, as well as dual POV. At least so far it's only been 2 POVs. I like it so far. It's fine, nothing crazy. I love the cover of this book. This book just came out this month as well, or last month, I don't remember, but I love the cover. The cover is so pretty. I'm enjoying it so far. It's not anything too crazy. I think I'm like on page 50, so still early days in the book. Not exactly sure what's going on, like in terms of like the husband's motivation to push her. So yeah, and also she has 2 twin daughters, and one is like kind of aggressive, like kind of violent, and I don't know how that's going to tie into the story, but that's where we are so far. Okay, so I know my tripod is crooked. Ever since I've gotten this new setup, it's like I'll think my camera's crooked, but then look at my shelves. I want to give you an update on the Soulmate. I am currently 30% mark, and what I thought was going on, I'm not sure if I was right. Like, I'm just kind of getting confused. So our main character, her name is Pippa. Her husband, Gabe, is the one who went out to the cliff to try to help the woman and get her to not jump off. But at the beginning, we're led to believe that he actually pushed her, because we're getting the lady who jumped off, her name is Amanda, we're getting her POV as well, and she's saying, like, in her deceased POV that she was pushed. So it makes Gabe like an instant suspect. But we're also getting like before and after timelines from Pippa, just talking about her relationship with Gabe, and it just makes Gabe seem like he's not fully trustworthy. But then we're also learning some things about Pippa that make her seem like she's also not trustworthy. So I just really don't know like what exactly we're supposed to be believing. Another parallel I've noticed with this one, and I will find you, is that both of these talk about the pandemic, and this one talks about it because when he's on the run, he like wears a mask. And this one, I don't remember when, but they do briefly brush on the pandemic. I just don't remember exactly when they do it. So it's interesting seeing like that be a normalized thing in fiction nowadays. It's like talk of the pandemic. But another thing is this story does have children in it, so if you don't want children in books, like beware. I don't usually mind children in books, but one of my friends, Hannah, she read this book. She gave it 3 stars, and she said that part of why she gave 3 stars is because there are children in the book, and she like hates when children talk in books like in their little like baby voices and stuff. I usually really don't mind children in books, but these children sound like older than they are. Like one of them was like,
Daddy, where's my purple squishy thing that I won in the grab bag at Seraphine's party?
and she's 4 years old. What 4-year-old would say something that, like, what? I mean, maybe 4-year-olds do talk like that, but it just seems a little bit too like articulate. She said, where's my purple squishy thing? That sounds like a kid. Until she says that I won in the grab bag at Seraphine's party. Like I just can't see a kid mention the grab bag. Or wouldn't a kid be like,
Daddy, where's my purple squishy thing from Seraphine's party?
or that I won at the party? Like, it's just, I don't know. The words grab bag kind of threw me off. This is not even a real update. I just want to tell you all I'm 30% in. And I'll probably update you all either at like 75% when I'm finished. I'm not quite sure yet, but it's interesting enough. It's not as gripping as the other book, I Will Find You. That book was unputdownable. This book is putdownable, but it's very fast, super short chapters, which I love. I love thrillers that have short chapters because they're just like so easy to get through. I can honestly finish this book today if I wanted to. It's like 320 or 30 pages. But I think I'll at least get to page 200. I have a few other things that I want to do today. So yeah, that's what I'm up to, and I'll give you all an update once I've made some more progress. Hello, so I'm laying in bed and I'm currently on page 240 of The Soulmate, and I just want to give a quick little update and say I'm really not enjoying this book. For one, the book is fast, has short chapters, which I appreciate. I'm definitely going to finish it today, but I don't like the writing. The book's just like, it's one of those books where it's not like foreshadowing, but they just keep like saying things and just not giving us the details. Like they'll be like, I look at Gabe and I see something in his face. It's fear. And that's how like every chapter ends, like on that kind of like dumb-ish. Then it goes to the next chapter, and we're switching POVs, like I said, between Pippa, who's Gabe's wife, and Amanda, the woman who died. We're switching between their POVs, or we're switching between past and present, like every chapter at this point. And I know we're getting close to the big thing, but even the small like things that are coming up really aren't that interesting. I don't know if it's because of the way it's written, like I'm not really loving the writing. And also Pippa, our main character, she's just really dumb to me. Like she's like so obsessed with her husband, she can't see any wrong in him, and even she can kind of tell that something is off about him and that he's lying to her, and even still she's like in denial about it. So she's pathetic to me, and this book just isn't that interesting, and none of the characters are really that interesting, and I can't wait till it's over. Okay, I've thought of the word. It's foreshadowing. I don't know if I said foreshadowing in the last clip, or I filmed that clip like 2 seconds ago, I don't remember, but every chapter ends with foreshadowing. Like, are we in middle school writing a paper? It's not working. It's not working, and I don't like it. Excuse how absolutely oily I look. I've had this makeup on all day, and it's probably like 9 o'clock now. But I just finished reading The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. I told you I was gonna finish it today, and I did. So I'm giving this book 3 stars. Everything I say stands. Like, there are some plot twists at the end, but they're all predictable. Every single plot twist in this book is predictable, and I don't even read that many thrillers to be able to predict things like that. Like, every single thing in this book is predictable. From the very beginning, we know what happens because we get the POV of Amanda, so we know that she didn't jump. We know that from the very, very beginning. And so it's not really a thriller. It's more just a mystery and trying to figure out why she was pushed. And there are a few plot twists along the way towards the very end, but like I said, in my opinion, they're very predictable. They're not like that interesting. There's like one part in the end that's like a teensy bit sad. That's to do with one of the characters named Harry, who was the wife of Amanda, the lady who passed away. And it's kind of sad because his mom and his brother both committed. So that part was kind of sad, was actually kind of sad, but it was just a very average book. It was a 3-star. It wasn't that great. It wasn't horrible. I'm not mad that I read it, but it definitely wasn't that great. I'm glad I didn't purchase it because I didn't enjoy it that much, despite the fact that this cover is freaking gorgeous. But yeah, that was The Soulmate, and now we're going to go ahead and read Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica. Hello, so I am in Dayton, as you can tell by the background. I'm here for my best friend graduating her MBA last week, and then Mother's Day is this weekend, so I just figured I'd stay here. So I've been here for I'm going to be here for a total of 11 days. So I want to update you all on Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica. I'm going to finish this while I'm here. Sorry my hand is shaking so much. Goodness, let's put this down. Is that a cute angle? No. Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica. I am on page 109, and it's 320 pages, so I'm somewhere around the 33% mark. I'm going to use these bobby pins as a bookmark. This book, what is it about? So this book is about a couple named Christian and Lily, and one day Christian comes home and his wife is pregnant, and she's just staring out the window, and he's like, Lily, what's wrong with you? Why are you staring out the window? And so she ends up admitting to him that one of her friend's husbands approached her in the woods, and he pretty much tried to RIPE her. And so she had to defend herself, so she hit him with a rock, and now they believe he's dead because the wife hasn't heard from him, and he hasn't been back to work. And so her and the husband go to look for him, but they don't see his body where it should be. So is he dead? Because he should be dead because he hasn't been to work, no one's heard from him, but why is his body not where he got hit upside the head at? So we're pretty much just trying to figure out where is this man's body. And we get 2 POVs. We get Christian, which is the husband of Lily, the one who killed the guy. We get his POV. Then we get Nina's POV, and Nina is the wife of the guy Jake who got killed, and Nina and Lily are both teachers together at the same high school, and they're friends. So those are 2 POVs we have. It's just one timeline, and so far this book is kind of boring. I read Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica, and this book feels like it was written by a different author. The writing in that book was just so much stronger, so much more compelling. This is a quick read. The chapters are short, and it's only 320 pages, so if I honestly focus, I could finish this book tonight, but I just want to get to at least page 200, but I could finish this tonight if I focused. But it's not that interesting. The writing just seems very not elementary, but it seems so basic in comparison to Local Woman Missing. It's just not as tantalizing and everything, but that's what's going on so far. I'm not super interested in it so far, to be honest. It's sitting at a 3-star right now in my mind. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to read some more, and I'll give you an update either at 50% or when I'm done, because yeah. Hey, I'm back. It's the same day. Whoo, my hair looks them presidents George Washington and all them back in the day who had them hit hairstyles. That's literally how I look. But I am 55% into Just the Nicest Couple, and I have no update. I literally have no updates. So I don't even know why I came on here. I said I was gonna come on at 50% or halfway through, and I don't like to do these vlogs where I come at the beginning and then at the end I don't give you in the middle thoughts. But it's a thriller, so I don't want to spoil anything, but also not much has happened since I've talked to you. Stuff has happened, but not anything worth sharing. So yeah, I guess I just came on here to tell y'all that I'm still reading. It's about 8 o'clock. I'm on page 176, and like I said, this is 320 pages. I'm about to go work out, do my Transform 20, and then I'm gonna come home, take a shower, and I definitely plan to finish this book tonight. So I plan to finish this book tonight, and then probably give my final thoughts tomorrow. I don't know why I needed to tell you all that. Y'all probably don't care. But yeah, nothing interesting is happening in this book, so I don't know why I came on here. So yeah, hope you all like my presidential hairstyle. This bun looks a mess. But okay, bye-bye. Okay, so I'm here to give y'all final update on Just the Nicest Couple. I don't have this book in front of me anymore, which should give y'all an idea of how I felt about it. So I'm giving this book 3 stars, and I'm giving it 3 stars because first half of the book was pretty freaking boring, honestly. There were some good plot twists later on in the book. One of them I feel like would be very, very, very hard to see coming. Like the very first plot twist I feel like would have been dang near impossible to see coming. And then the second plot twist was just kind of like, I felt like it was cheap. Like, I didn't see the plot twist coming, but I still, especially the last one at the end, I just felt like it was kind of cheap. And I mean cheap as in, I feel like sometimes when thriller authors don't know how to write a compelling thriller, they throw in a plot twist that you won't see coming. And then because it's so unexpected, they expect that that will make the book good in your eyes. But I just feel like I've read thrillers where plot twists were easier to see, and I felt like they were better and they were more satisfying. Versus one like this where I didn't see the plot twist coming, but I feel like this is like not a very good explanation because I have to be really vague in case someone wants to read this book. But I feel like the author was giving us breadcrumbs and wanting us to believe that one thing was happening when in reality something else was happening. And I just feel like that's kind of a cheap way to do a plot twist because it's just not clever. It's like, plot twist, and the plot twist is like the whole part of the book. So I'm giving this book 3 stars. On Goodreads, I put a comment saying like 3.5, but I'm probably gonna delete that comment and just leave it at 3 because I think it's just a 3 flat. I don't think this is a bad book. It's sitting at like a 3.5 on Goodreads. It's sitting at kind of a low rating, especially for a new release. I don't think the book is bad. I just think that the only thing the book has going for it is a plot twist, and the plot twist was kind of cheap. And yeah, so that's how I felt about An Unwanted Guest by Mary Kubica. Alright, so I'm just going to wrap up this video right here where I'm sitting. So I read 3 2023 new release thrillers in this video. I don't have any of them in front of me anymore. I returned the Mary Kubica book to Target. I actually finished that book like almost a week ago. But I returned that to Target, and then the other 2 books I actually just returned to the library. I'm actually refilming this outro because I filmed it like an hour ago with the books, but I did not like the outro or the lighting. Not that this lighting is any better, but it is better. If you saw old lighting, it is better. Love living by the highway. So the first book I read in this video was I Will Find You by Harlan Coben. I gave this book 4 stars. If I was doing half stars, I'd give it 4.5. I think this book was super, super interesting. It was fast paced, and it was just a true suspense novel. Like every single chapter, I was on the edge of my seat just wanting to know what happened. This book is so hard to put down. I loved how high the stakes were. I loved the cat and mouse chase. The only reason why this book is not getting 5 stars is because it wrapped up too nicely at the end. Like this book is so dramatic for it to have wrapped up so neat at the end like that. I would recommend this book to people who enjoyed Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. And it's funny that I'm recommending a Mary Kubica book, and like I read another Mary Kubica and I'm not recommending that Mary Kubica to people. Does that make sense? I think it's funny that I'm recommending a Mary Kubica book to people in reference to another author. But anyway, the reason why I'm recommending this book to fans of the Mary Kubica book, Local Woman Missing, is because they're both like really, really dramatic and to an extent like unrealistic because of how dramatic they are. Not like it couldn't happen, but it's just too much happening, and then they both wrap up a little bit too nicely at the end. But both of them I genuinely enjoyed. The only difference I would say with this book is that it was a lot more faster paced. Local Woman Missing starts off pretty slow and more of a mystery vibe. It's like a true suspense vibe all the way through, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I gave this book 4 stars. The next book that I read was The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. I'm actually changing my rating of this book to 2 stars. I do not think that my lighting is getting really bad. Oh my gosh, hold on. I don't think that helped. I look purple. I hope I do not look this bad in real life. I'm actually changing my rating of The Soulmate to 2 stars. I do not think that thriller authors are responsible for giving you content trigger warnings, because if thriller authors give you trigger warnings, a lot of times you'll know what the plot twist is. So it's kind of like I don't know why whenever I need to think of a word I can't think of it, but it would not benefit them to give you trigger warnings. Although this is a book that I would say maybe check the trigger warnings for if you are more sensitive. I'm not very sensitive, at least to this subject matter, so it doesn't apply to me, but yeah, I feel like this book was interesting at first and then it started to get boring, and it was also like way too predictable. Every single plot twist was predictable, and I don't even predict things in thrillers, and I just don't like the soulmate aspect at the end. I feel like it was, and this is where the content warning, trigger warning part comes in. I just feel like it was not responsibly written, and I don't think it was written in the best format. I feel like what happened could be added in a book, especially a thriller, but I think it could have been added in a more productive way. I just don't think it was added well in this book, and I don't like that. And I didn't see people talking about that. I didn't really look at the reviews of this book, and if people were to talk about it, it would have to be a spoiler review. So that's just something about this book that I didn't really like. But yeah, too predictable, didn't love the ending, and the whole ghost aspect, I don't like books where, a book like this where you're working backwards. I mean, there are a lot of books where there are a lot of thrillers and mysteries where you're working backwards, but this one I just didn't like. I gave it 2 stars. And the last book I read was The Unwanted, or no, not The Unwanted. I keep on saying The Unwanted Guest. I've not even read a book called The Unwanted Guest. I don't know why I keep thinking about that. The last book that I read was Just Nicest Couple, giving it 3 stars. Like I said, the first half was boring, did have some good plot twists, but they were kind of cheap, and so I didn't love that. So those are the 3 books that I read for this video. I would say overall this was a really productive reading vlog. I've never filmed a reading vlog before this one where a book got more than 3 stars, so in my eyes this reading vlog was successful. Also, all these books are short. They're all like 320 pages or less, and they all have short chapters, so they're very easy to read. The language is not too difficult. Like, these are all books that you could read in a few short sittings, honestly. And they're books that, like, if I didn't have a full-time job and other things to do, I'd probably finish them all in 1 week, honestly, because they're that short. Sorry, my eyeball bothering me. Also, I feel like for me, because thrillers are such a low commitment due to how fast paced they are, if I don't love a thriller, I'm not that upset about it because it doesn't take that much out of me to read them. Oh my gosh. Let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite thriller? Maybe I'll do a video where I read y'all's favorite thrillers. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more reading vlogs, lifestyle content, and all the rest. And I'll see you all on the next video. Bye.